relatability. Here 17 question is there, and in 16 only 8 questions are there. Similarly, in 17 they ask like 10 question, and in 18 they ask like 13 question, and like in same with 2019 they asked 13 question, and this 2020 they asked about 15 question, and 21 again 17 questions. So this was the thing about the prelims part of UPSC geography. So we can see that if we want to clear prelims, we cannot just escape geography. And since this was a multiple choice question type, I am focusing more on the prelims part. And for means, we need a detailed analysis of each and everything. And as far as geography is concerned, we can divide world geography into basic 6 to 7 parts. So first part is like physical geography. So in physical geography you guys will see different kind of things like earth, origin of earth, geomorphic process, solar radiation, atmospheric process, and like water, ocean, like that. And then in Indian geography we will have to know different aspect of India, with the like rivers and mountains of India. So these are the different aspects of Indian geography. And just a sec. Yeah, I have to admit someone at that moment. Okay, so now Muthurani is also there. So yeah, so Indian geography is there, and then after Indian geography we have Indian mapping. These all are topic of prelims, because little prelims and mains is quite kind of different when it comes to geography, because detailed analysis is there in mains. And after Indian mapping there is this world mapping, different location of world. And then after world there is this agriculture. And then after agriculture we can say there is this uh, energy sector, like different kind of fossil fuels, and non-fossil fuel, resource based fuel, like that. And after that there is this human geography. Human geography. 1 minute, one more guy is here. Okay, let me admit him. Yeah, okay. So these are the important topics when it comes to like geography in UPSC. And do not worry that sir, you didn't tell about oceanography, you didn't tell about climatology. These all are in physical geography. Similarly, all the like structure, gun, wildlife sanctuary, they all are in Indian geography. Similarly, the mapping of India is there. So these are the basic uh, one of the 7 topics which we can divide our UPSC syllabus onto. So now, guys, I would like to move on to our. Uh, Now I will move on to our question answer part. So like we are now 7 guys around here. Okay. So like now moving on to our question answer part. So see, I will not be discussing each and every question. If you want each and every question, means if I'm skipping any question, then you can definitely come onto our Telegram channel, and please drop a hi or something, and we will definitely coordinate upon that, and we will discuss that question also. But right now I will be discussing those questions which I think is kind of important to discuss. And if there is any other question you are having confusion, you can definitely come to our Telegram channel, and you can simply say that, sir, I have problem in this and this question. Okay. So moving on to the questions now. Direct source we have to know, and this is one of the basic thing we come into our geography. So the direct source come on the most easily available solid earth, that is surface rocks or volcanic eruption. So volcanic eruption come as the direct source, and indirect source we come across meteors and these earthquakes. Okay, so these are the things, these are the keywords which are there. So if we apply those keywords, we will come on to this option. So now moving on to the next question. Yeah. This is regarding to Kuroshio current, and this is a current of Japan, that oceanic current of Japan. And the options are, it begins off the coast of Japan and flows northwards. Okay. Second option is it transport warm tropical northwards towards the polar region. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah, these are the two options. And third option, it is a part of North Pacific gyre. So what you must be here, the keyword is gyre. So what is gyre? Oceanic gyre is like of large system of circular ocean. Okay. S- Circular oceanic current is flowing by global wind patterns and focus created by earth rotation. So earth is rotating around its axis, we all know. So this kind of rotation also create a Coriolis force. Okay, so this kind of force help in getting a creating a oceanic gyre or the oceanic current movement. And the movement of world's major ocean gyre help drive the ocean conveyor belt. And these kind of like rotation of the ocean controls the entire working of the oceanic belt. And the ocean conveyor belt circulates ocean current around the entire planet. And because if we will be concerning our planet, and suppose this is India and this is like Cambodia and all that, and this is Australia, and similarly, suppose I'm telling about the world. So there are different oceanic currents flowing, and these are controlled by this gyre. And as I have discussed how these gyres are formed. So in this kind of option, see, in option, it is a part of North Pacific Ocean gyre. Yes, it is a part of North Pacific Ocean gyre. And also, 1 minute. So it do not begins at the coast of Japan and flow northward. No, it don't begin at the coast of Japan. And it is like a basic Kurisu current is warm western boundary current of North Pacific subtropical area. And coastal current begin off east coast of Philippines, not at the Japan, but it begins at Philippines. Okay, east coast of Philippines it begins. And through Taiwan also. If we are knowing, if you have a world map in your room, you can see Philippines and Taiwan, they are originating. And flow north east was past Japan. They pass the Japan. Okay. And so option one is not there, and these two options are correct. So similarly, we can come to our answer that, okay, see. And also, if you are listening to me, I will urge you all guys to have this map of world. I see, basically there are four maps which I want you to have in your room. First is like political map of world, and then there is physiographic map of world, and then political map of India, and then again there is this physiographic map of India. Okay, I want you guys to have these four maps in your room. Stick to it, watch it regularly. If some news is happening in the world, you have to look at your map, and you have to like manually locate it, not go on to like Google map and search for it. Manually first locate it, because when you are searching for manually, it kind of set up patterns in your brain that you know that which all country you are crossing and all that. So that will definitely help you guys in like coming all to that fact. Okay, so please have a map in your room and daily practice it. And also there is this I think Oxford Black Swan Atlas is there. Okay, so Oxford Atlas, I will definitely urge you guys to buy this atlas. Similarly, at your free time, give 10 minutes daily. Open one page of atlas. Look at it. Just look at it. Okay, just mark those points that okay, one is there, one is there, one is there. This country is there. This ocean is there. Okay, so similarly, open your atlas in your free time. Similarly, or even in your mobile, if you are having in PDF format, simply look it for just 10 minutes a day. Okay, and my dear friend, you won't be surprised that at the end, if someone is saying a river name or a like ocean name or like name of a hill or any mountain, you will be like in no time you will be managed to locate it on the map, because this is a kind of interesting work also, and it requires a less effort, only 10 minutes daily. And like suppose in map also, if we will look at the map section, map is also a great part of UPSC. And 1 minute, let me see like what kind of things were asked in maps. Okay, because as we are discussing everything here, let me come on to the map part also. See, now I will take a little extraction from here, because and I will be discussing what all things come into map. So see, I for just for the importance of the map, I am like describing you things. So as I have said, there is this Indian mapping. Okay, and again there is this world mapping. Okay, Indian mapping is there, world mapping is there. And here I will put a year in the prelims how many questions were asked. Okay, so going back for like in 2011, 10 years ago, in world mapping, one question was asked. Okay, and in Indian mapping, three questions were asked to find or locate something in the map. Okay, in 2012, about none of the questions were asked from world mapping, but in Indian mapping, one question was asked. Okay, in 2013, in 2013, world question was asked from in world mapping. One question was asked from Indian mapping. In 14, they asked four questions from world mapping, five questions from Indian mapping. So see, 4, 4, 9, 4, 5, 9, 9 to 18 number, 18 marks questions were there in prelims. Okay, so how much big importance is there? In 2015, they asked like two questions for world mapping and three questions from Indian mapping. In 16, they asked one question from world mapping and three questions from Indian mapping. Okay. In 17, they asked one question from world mapping, and 2017, they asked one question from world mapping and like five questions from Indian mapping. So you know how much of like a like 6 into 12 number of 12 marks question was asked. And similarly, in 2018, in 2018, three questions were asked from world mapping and two questions were asked for like Indian mapping. In 2019, one question was asked from Indian mapping, three questions were asked for world mapping. Okay, world mapping one question, Indian mapping three question. 20, similarly, two questions were asked from world mapping and one from like Indian mapping. And in 2021, they asked three questions from world mapping and two questions from Indian mapping. So see, although these things are like just 10 marks are there, and here 18 marks are there, here 12 marks are there, but these marks are absolutely free. These are low hanging few fruits. In UPSC asks some low hanging fruits. You just have to go and pluck them. Okay, so these marks are simply distributing. UPSC is distributing these marks, because if we are because see, in map you have to, if you are working on international relations, if you are reading international relation or IR, we say, you have to know map. Okay, and if you are working studying economy, we have to know how different countries economies are working. We have to read map. If you are reading diaspora, diaspora is also a part of UPSC syllabus, if you don't know. And Indian diaspora particularly, if you are reading, you have to know map. Okay, similarly in history also, if you are reading world history, you have to know map. Okay, so if you are preparing for geography, you cannot just ignore map. Okay, so map is one of the crucial part of your geography UPSC preparation. And as I have discussed, this four map: physiography of world, okay, political map of world, physiography of India, and political map of India. So these are the map you have to look in, and just give 10 minutes to the Oxford book, Oxford Atlas, and you can have very much beneficial knowledge from that kind of thing. Okay, anyone ask to any questions because of the map? If anyone asks to any question regarding maps, I am here. If you have any question regarding how to cover this map portion, do you want to ask anything? Anyone? Do you have any query regarding of map, that how to cover this map portion? Because as we are proceeding, we have at least one point should be settled. Any questions? Okay. Great. So now moving on to the questions part, we are solving this question part. Yeah. So this question is there: why are dewdrops not formed on cloudy night? See, these kind of questions are also there in UPSC, and you won't have any idea. But you just have to see if facts are working up or not. Okay, cloud absorbs the radiation released from Earth's surface. So clouds are still there in night also, in days also. How this is working? No, this will not work. Okay, so cloud reflects back the Earth's radiation. So yes, so in cloudy night, this Earth radiation can be reflected. Okay, so this can be an option. Okay, the Earth's surface would have low temperature of cloudy night. No, this is not a fact, because it might have a high temperature because of the carbon trapped due to the clouds. So this fact is also not there. This fact is also not there. And cloud deflect the blowing wind to the ground level. So the blowing wind, when it reaches the ground, it would not be reflected back due to the height of the cloud. It will be at very great height. So this fact is also not there. So similarly, just by knowing this fact correctly, we can come on to the conclusion. Okay, so moving on with the next question. The next question is about the geomorphic process. And in UPSC, when we are reading world geography, there are three part of geography. One is oceanography. Second is climatology, and third is geomorphology. Geomorphology. So basic geography can be like divided into three parts. So oceanography deals with ocean, climatology deals with climate, atmosphere, and everything. Geomorphology deals with formation of Earth, different crust, and different forces working on Earth. So geography can be like in broader sense, it can be divided into three parts. And when will we be working on this geography part? And by the way, you all know that on YouTube channel of our institute, we are covering geography, detailed analysis of geography, and from like class 6th to 12th geography we are covering here. And currently two lectures are already there uploaded, and I urge you all guys to have a look on that lecture. And similarly, we will be uploading more lectures, and a complete geography in details will be done by me itself. And you guys can subscribe to it. And yes, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do share it with your friend, because these kind of things give me motivation. Okay, people are listening to me. So yeah, please do that. So as coming back to geography part, so these are the three different aspect of geography. And geomorphic process is a part of how Earth is formed, similarly like that. So in this kind of thing, the thing is, see here also, uh, we can work on the elimination process, and we can come on the fact that, see, statement 1 is saying that exogenetic forces cause degradation, whereas endogenetic forces called aggradation. So what is this endogenic process? So endogenic process consists of folding, wrapping, vulcanization, and they cause upliftment. Most of the endogenic process cause upliftment, and the ultimate source of energy behind that force drive endogenic movement of the earth, and the internal heat due to radioactive decay and gravitation. Okay, this is about the endogenic forces. that they basically do like upliftment of any earth surface. And what are these exogenetic force? So exogenetic process include weathering, erosion, degradation, and both endogenic and exogenetic forces are needed to shape the landforms of earth. So the exogenetic process derive their energy from atmosphere and ultimately from the sun. Okay, so this statement one seems to be correct at this point, because source of energy behind forces that drive endogenic movement is earth internal crust. So yeah, that aggregation is correct. Okay, and also that the earth's internal heat due to radioactive decay and the gravitation is due to the endogenic forces. Okay, that is correct. And coming on to the statement 2, the source of energy for exogenetic process is the atmosphere, whereas that for endogenic process is the earth itself. So here what it is saying that exogenetic forces are degradational and endogenetic forces are like aggradational. So simply working on this, we can come on to this. So these two are correct. And see, in this diastrophic forces, it is saying that come under exogenetic forces. No, my dear friend, these come under endogenetic forces. So this statement 3 is wrong. So by that we can come on to the conclusion that this is correct. So similarly, I know that for some guys it must be tough knowing all these things, but once you know the facts, basic facts, it will be, believe my friend, it will be very much easy. Because at once I was at your standard, because first when I again I want to share some experience over here, because I think experience are very much crucial when it comes to UPSC preparation, and from experience you can definitely come on to the fact. So what happens that in my initial days, what was happening when I was seeing this question, first I got terrified of seeing the UPSC syllabus itself. Okay, how the syllabus is of 4 pages, okay, in four A4 sheet pages. So how these kind of things can work upon? I was confused. Okay, and then again this geography, then history. Okay, so these kind of things are there. So kindly excuse me, there is this local mosque over here, so that is working on. Kindly hold for a sec. Yeah, again, so sorry for this break, and again continuing with these questions. So now again this question is like a map based question. Consider the following countries: Lebanon, Morocco, Croatia, Jordan, Tunisia. Which of the countries above countries share a border with Mediterranean Sea? So see, Mediterranean Sea, all the countries close to Mediterranean Sea is important for us. Okay, because they are Mediterranean Sea share border with 3 continents. It is the only sea that share border with this much kind of countries and the continent. So it Mediterranean Sea share border with Asia, and it also share border with Africa, and it also share border with Europe. So you guys can see that Mediterranean Sea is of a very much importance. And here that mm, these kind of continents, they are big continents. It's all continents are out of five continents, three continents Mediterranean Sea share border with. So while you are covering the map section, you have to look onto this Mediterranean Sea part also. Okay, so I'm not discussing this question, but I'm saying what are the importance of this Mediterranean Sea. And by simple googling and by going onto the gmap, you will come to know the answer of this question. So no need to discuss it. And moving on, consider the following statements of with reference to the incoming solar radiation. Okay, so the following statement, what are the different statement? First we will read the statement. And also this is like one of the prerequisite to deal with the questions in UPSC, because whenever a question is asked, first we have to know what are the different statements. So calmly we have to read the if statement in our examinations also. So the first statement is the insolation received by Earth is more at the aphelion than the perihelion. So you guys know what is this aphelion and perihelion? So now you will be confused about these two now facts about aphelion and perihelion. So first thing is there. Okay, these two words are there. And then moving on to the next question, next mm, part, that we have to know what the part says. So statement 2 says the equator receives comparatively less isolation than in tropics. Okay, now I think that this is must not be a confusion of mm, thing that what is the this is saying. One minute, one guy is here. Let me add him. So yeah, so the I in this part, the equator receives comparatively less insolation than tropics. Okay, and third part is that at the same latitude the isolation received is more over the ocean than over the continent. So same latitude is there, and this is saying that insolation received is more over the ocean than over the continent. If they are saying if they are sharing same latitude, how this could be possible? So we can simply eliminate option 3 over here. So eliminate, we eliminated this option completely. Okay, and then also we are saying that we will come on to the first statement, deal with first statement. So during revolution around the sun, earth is fastest from the sun, that is 152 million kilometer. Earth is far away from the sun on 4th of July. So on 4th of July this happened. And this position of the earth is called as aphelion, the position of earth on 4th of July. And the position is called perihelion on 3rd of January, because on 3rd of January what happened is that earth is nearest to sun, that is 147 million kilometer. Okay, so now I think you guys must be knowing what is this aphelion and what is this perihelion. Aphelion means farthest away, that is 152 million kilometer. Perihelion is closest, and that is 147 million kilometer. Okay, so this position is brilliant. Therefore the annual isolation received by the earth on 3rd January is slightly more than the amount received on this 4th July, because on 3rd January earth is 147 million kilometer away, and 4th January it is 5 million kilometer far away. So isolation received from the sun will be more on this 3rd January part. So option 1 is correct. Okay, so now we know that option 1 is correct. So this two only option is also removed. Okay, now we have to look at the option number second. So the equator receives completely less isolation than the tropics. So this we can discuss upon. So the insolation received at the surface varies from 320 watts, okay, per meter square. This is the measurement of insolation that we received, or the solar radiation we received. So 320 watts per meter square is the insolation we received in tropics, and about 70 watt per meter square at poles. So maximum insolation is received over subtropical desert. So cloudness is very least, because in subtropical result we know that suppose this is Earth and this is the equator and this is the tropics. So tropics have like more close to sun because of the, we know, 23.5 degree tilt of the earth. So due to that, the insolation solar radiation is more on the tropics. And even in these tropics, those area where there is desert and there is less form of cloud is there, those areas are more hotter and receive more solar radiation. So option 2 is also correct. So option 1 and option 2 is also correct, and third we already eliminated. So option B is here. So uh, 1 minute, let me see the question again. Yeah. So in this question, what it is saying, that it is saying the opposite. So option 1 is also not there. So there's only two options. Second option is there, which is correct. So see, this kind of thing might confuse you also, because they alternate the things in the option part. So this, we have to take care of these thing also. So option 2 only, that is D, which is correct. Okay. So moving on. And if you have any issue, any problem, you all can come to our Telegram channel, and we can discuss each and every question in details. And even you can call me if you want my personal number or the institute number. You can just drop a message to our Telegram channel. Okay. So moving on, with reference to the easterly jet stream, which of the following is correct? Simple fact-based question. So if you just know about this kind of thing, or you can come on to the answer, and the NCRT is the key. These all questions you can find the origin of this question in NCRT. And also westerlies are strong and regular. This again a fact-based question again to the westerlies. So now, like, I will like to have one-to-one interaction with you guys, that till now, if anything which I have discussed, if you want to add anything, or if you want to know anything particular, anything related to UPSC or geography, because right now we have like 20 minutes. So I, if because in this hour, covering all those 100 questions is quite impossible. Even answering those 100 questions is quite impossible in this 2 hour, because correct answer. And so if you want to know anything, or if you want to ask me anything regarding the UPSC preparation or the geography or anything, please feel free to ask me anything regarding this UPSC preparation, how to start your preparation, or which all books we need to see. Please ask me any questions regarding to your preparation, or any problems which you are facing in this UPSC preparation. Yeah. Muhammad, do you have any question?
Sir,
Yeah,
if any
please.
possible to discuss on yesterday GS one paper about
Okay.
the geography perspective.
So GS1 paper, yesterday's which were there in the examination, right? Means, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so
Sir,
you
how
can.
to approach our questions? I seen many questions are easy.
Yes, yes.
Sir, like India's subcontinent
Mm-hmm.
through that something, and then um, I'm sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, because okay. By the way, have any of you see the essay paper?
Essay paper is more tough, sir. I can't understand the question paper, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. So everyone is now saying that essay paper was quite tough, and so the cutoff will be like that. And even I have seen, like, on Twitter there was this civil servant, and he is one of the most famous civil servant of India. And even he told that this was a quite tough paper, and this is, we need not to ask this kind of question, because UPSC is a level playing field. Because in this essay, because you will see there was this question: your perception of me is a reflection of you, and my reaction to you is an awareness of me.
Yeah,
So
famous quote by Nityanandan Swami.
Nityanand, exactly. So see, these kind of philosophical questions they are asking. Okay, so like in optional, there is this one philosophy which is also my optional. Okay, so those which were having philosophy optional, they were very happy seeing this kind of question. Okay, because see, in one of the question they ask, real is rational and rational is real. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so this kind of philosophical question now they are direct asking in your UPSC examination. So we have to especially prepare our ethics proportion. Ethics, I think UPSC is compensating for ethics, because in ethics there are this case study and everything, and GS paper like paper 4 ethics. So in ethics, there are this ready-made answer, and people can come up with answer. Like if I'm going about like 20 case study I'm studying, I will develop a kind of uh, way of giving my answer. But in essays, uh, everyone will be writing different. So I think UPSC is kind of compensating ethics portion with this essay portion, whatever the case may be. But adding this much of philosophical topic in essay is quite like mesmerizing for me also. And everyone is like discussing about why they are asking so much philosophicals, and in my opinion they are compensating for this ethics paper. And like they want to have good civil servants and who can basically write very good essays, because in when we one will be in service, they have to just like your politeness and the way you are conducting yourself will be very crucial. So they'll are like this kind of thing. So coming on to the GS paper 2, right? So see, everyone have that question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have that question, Muhammad, with you?
Yes, sir. I have, sir.
See, the first question, which is related to geography itself, is many questions are there, and one question is differentiate the cause of landslide in Himalayan region and Western Ghats. So, if you are covering current affairs, you will know that these kind of questions are there. Landslide was occurring. Okay, and because we know that there was this famous landslide and 25 people died in Uttarakhand. Okay, just like 2 months before. And similarly there was this landslide in like Nagaland or Assam. So the landslide was very common in previous year. So that's why they ask land questions from landslide. Okay, so this is the reason they ask this question, because we have to connect our static preparation with our means preparation with our current affairs. So like similarly, this is, although this is one of the disaster management question, but still we have to, we can answer our question with definition of the landslide. Okay, we can answer our question with definition of the landslide. What are the landslide? We can simply make a pattern. If we are covering our current affairs, we can see that previous year this happened. How we can we can give the cause. Everyone can give the cause. If you are preparing for UPSC, you can give the cause for landslide. But how we are covering the, how we have to come up with the answer is that how we are giving a solution to this problem. Okay, what our administrator have to do during landslide, if we are giving some unique solution from our side, that will be an added advantage to our mains answer writing. Okay, so this was regarding that landslide. And also one question was asked at, despite India being one of the countries of the Gondwana land, its mining industry contribute much less to its GDP. So again, see, this is again a current affairs question, because we know that there is this coal scarcity of India, coal scarcity happening in India, and we have to take coals from Australia and China, and now the current electricity bill will go on. So this is again a current affair questions which is shifted like a static question. Okay, so we have to give the problems associated with the mining industry, and also the how mining industry can boost up our GDP. So these kind of things, if we are answering, they will happen. And they mentioned the global occurrence of volcanic eruption in 2021 and their impact or regional impairment. See, this is like that 1 month before this happened. There was this volcanic eruption happening in like South China Sea, like in Thailand or something. Like 1 month, not even 1 month, like 3 weeks before, 3 or 4 weeks before this volcanic eruption was happening. A major volcanic eruption happened in like Indonesia, I think Indonesia or Thailand. So see how correct connected they are with the current affairs thing. Okay, so if we are preparing for UPSC, one thing we have to come up with this question that they are looking into current affairs like anything, and we just cannot go simply into exams thinking that means that thinking okay our static portion is strong, we know the different how things are happening. We cannot just simply go our mains examination like that. We have to like give very much emphasis on our current affairs, because see all these three questions are related to current affairs itself. Okay, similarly, there is this question is why is India considered as a subcontinent? Elaborate your answer. So, although there is this geographical aspect that India is like part of those Himalaya is like carving out India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh into a subcontinent, and a different kind of environment is there. But one question, one point which we can add into this answer is the diaspora part, which I have discussed. In America, in Europe, the Indian, Pakistanis, and Bangladeshi, all known as the Desis. Okay, Desi diaspora is there. So, although this is a geography question, but we can link this question with our Indian diaspora section. So, see, if we are preparing for UPSC, if we are giving mains answer writing, we have to connect different things to our answer to make it look more beautiful. Okay, so this is the thing with our thing. Okay, and so this is the basic thing with our sorry for that. Yeah, so this is the basic thing which we need for our geography preparation. And again, like I said that there is we have to connect our current affairs portion with our 1 minute. Yeah, so we have to connect our current affairs portion with our static portion, then only we can have a like good answer in our mains answer writing. Okay, so this is the thing. And again I will urge you all to have this like see your current affairs regularly. Current affairs is the key. Whatever which question we are there, current affairs is the key. So we are also updating, we are giving like current affairs videos, and we are giving like mm, detailed analysis of our current affairs portion in our daily, we are updating it on our website also. So I urge you all guys to have a look on that. And if you are just seeing those things on your daily basis, there is no need to like see extra thing. Okay, that is enough for your day. So any other question if someone wants to ask about their UPSC preparation or the problem they are facing in their UPSC preparation? Because I think mic is there for everybody, so they can simply ask any question. Okay, so see all those things which are there in our explanation, although I try to explain a little about these questions also, but still this explanation will be uploaded, and you will get to know all these facts uh, at your laptop or the mobile in PDF formats. But still if you guys are facing any confusion, you guys are most welcome. You guys are most welcome to be a part of our team, and you guys can ask us any question on the Telegram, and our team will happily like to resolve it and happily like to interact with you, because we all know that what a aspirant go through its preparation phases. I was an aspirant and now I am teaching, so I know that what kind of phases you guys go on. So I know that you need someone which can like rectify those kind of phases and can give a solution to those problems. So you guys are most welcome. You can come to our Telegram channel anytime. You can ask any question, no one will hesitate in answering you at any moment of time. And even if you want my personal number, you can come to our official channel, and through that we can connect, and we will have a like a good, this is just a beginning of a like relationship, we can say, for your UPSC preparation. And once I got support from my seniors and my faculty, and I simply want to convey my support to all you guys, that do not, you need not to worry, you have someone with you which can help you in your UPSC preparation and will guide you through. But the labor, the thing, the study, that you have to do. We will only tell you that you can get your water from there, but you have to fetch your own water. So that is the thing. We will guide you thoroughly, we will give you the material, we will give you the videos, we will give you the, tell you the books, but you have to read on to yourself. So any issues you are having, please come to our Telegram channel, please message me or message our official channel. We will be responding to it, and like we will be more than happy to help you. And please, this is also our one of the main work of our institution, is to make sure that the lower section, the economical weaker section of this society, is getting benefits of these free initiatives and all the initiatives we are doing. So if you guys know any poor child, or if you guys know any which is not getting enough support, please make him connect to us, and we will be like, I am working with you guys, we will be happy to work with those guys also, and we will be happy to, more than happy to guide those guys. Because uh, we not must be knowing, because what they are they are going through. And especially with this lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, the economical sections, economical weaker section are going more weaker. So I urge you all guys to share our initiatives with your friends, especially those friends who are not that economically strong, and we will help those guys in their UPSC journey. And they need not to worry about those kind of things, that where to start and where to stop. So, and also you guys also need not to worry anything about your UPSC journey. You can simply come to us, and we will be guiding you thoroughly. So that's all for today. And if you have any question, any query, anything you want to ask, you can definitely come to our Telegram channel. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, and start studying. Study like anything else. Because see, at the end of the day, no one will ask what is happening to you. They will not going to ask that what happened. They will ask that, is, are you selected or not? This one line will haunt you forever. Okay, so I do not want this to happen to you. So please utilize this opportunity and connect with us, and we will be helping you at many stages, right from prelims up to the interview part. We will be helping you guys. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, and stay connected with us, and share it with your friends also. Thank you so much. And we'll be uploading all those documents on our website and Telegram channel. Thank you.